Hey, Judge. Current law clerk here. Uh, Thank you for everything you did this year. You're the best. Sorry for driving you towards retirement. I like to say it's not my fault, but looks like it was. Um, Make sure you have a lot of fun. Retirement, a lot of baseball, a lot of hanging with the kiddies, and keep in touch. I'm sure I'll be bothering you throughout the years with stupid stuff. So again, congratulations, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hi, Judge. Just wanted to say thank you, as always, for all of your encouragement and support and best wishes and congratulations on your next chapter and lots of luck.
Hi, Zia. We love you. Congratulations. We wish you the best in your retirement.
Judge, I just want to wish you the very best. Health and happiness as you embark on your retirement. I will miss you dearly. It's been a long time that we've been together. We started out together in 1980, and I'm kind of sad to see you go, and I don't know if I'm going to make it there without you. But like I say, health and happiness, and just remember me. Don't ever forget me. We've been together for many years, and what else can I say? But thank you.
Curio, congratulations on your retirement. Wishing you all the best going forward, and also hoping to continue to see you at our Bar Association events. As I've expressed to you many times, you have been most integral in my legal career from start and hopefully to finish. I look forward to enjoying your company now, not just as my judge, but also as a friend. So good luck with everything and all the best in your retirement.
Hey Georgia, it's Nikki and Zaza. We just wanted to say, and here comes Baby Al. And we just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done for us, and we love you so much, and you deserve all the best in the world. Thank you for always being there for us. And we love you. Bye.
Hi, Judge. I'm going to say a few words. And, when I think back to when I first met you, was before I was a clerk. I met you at the judge's table when I interned for the clerk at the coach room. And one of the things I'll always remember is how much good-spirited you were, how much you laughed and had fun. And then, I only knew that side of you. And then in the clerkship, I saw the hard work, dedication, fairness. And, I've tried to carry those same principles with me in my career since then. Hopefully I'll do that as well when I retire. So it was a pleasure, and I'm sure I'll go see you around. And love you, Judge.
I was law clerk from 2007 to 2008, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Judge Curio ever since I was born. Judge Curio was friends with my dad. They were law partners in Vineland, New Jersey, and I think about everything that I've done since law school, clerking with Judge Curio, and sitting here today. It's just pretty unbelievable that she's finally retiring. You've meant so much to me. You've helped put me on a path. I would have probably never left my dad's firm if it hadn't been for your advice. And this week, I became a partner. And I think about that decision, and it was a difficult decision for me to make, and I'm just glad you were there to help support me and point me in the right direction, which you've done ever since I've known you. So I wish you well in your retirement. I don't think you're going to be retired too long. I think you're going to be quite busy doing mediations and traveling, and I look forward to seeing you down in Stone Harbor.
Hi, Judge Curio. It's hard to believe that I was your very first law clerk. It was such an exciting time for me, finishing up law school and to come into chambers with you and Louise and the whole group and Ray. It was just wonderful. It was one of the highlights of my career. But it was also probably the most telling part of my career because I learned something from you that I carry with me today. And that is, while I take the work seriously, I don't take myself so seriously. I learned that I come into work every day with humility and a humble joy in my heart, and that's made all the difference. Thank you, Judge, and enjoy your retirement.
Hi, Judge. This is Chad Davis. Just want to say congratulations on a job well done. Personally, want to thank you for the opportunity to clerk for you back in 14, 15. I've learned just an immeasurable amount of lessons working for you. I know we had a rough time at times, but we both came out alive, and I hope I wasn't the reason why you eventually had to retire. But here we are, and again, I just want to thank you and congratulate you, and hope you can enjoy your retirement.
Hi, Judge. This is Kim Barfield. I clerked for you 2002 and 2003. I really enjoyed my job. I loved coming to work every day. It was a challenge. And I really appreciated the relationship I developed with you and your secretary, Louise. And I would always tell my family, my judge, you're my judge. And I'm happy for you, your retirement. I know you are going to really enjoy out gallivanting and enjoying life. Congratulations to you. Love you.
Hi, Judge. I'm sure when you first considered retiring, what you thought was, oh boy, I hope they put Kanicki on videotape. But in all seriousness, I wanted to let you know that I appreciate the lessons that I learned when I clerked for you. I think the most important thing that I tell people about Judge Curio is you taught me to treat every person with decency, dignity, and respect. I try to carry that into my practice of law each and every day, and I must confess that I don't always succeed. But one of the other things that you taught me is that you can make a mistake, you can survive it, and you can continue to be better. I hope you enjoy your retirement. I don't know anybody that deserves it more than you. I hope that you do whatever moves you, and you enjoy the rest of your days. Have a good day. Bye.
Judge, I am seriously going to miss you. I have known you forever. My first memory and recollection of you was just one of the lawyers that used to come to arbitration when I was working with Judge Sereda. There's a name we haven't heard forever. Then I got to know you, didn't know who you were, but my husband ends up telling me who you are, that you went to school with his sister. And now you're my assignment judge, and now you're leaving me, and I'm going to miss you. You have always gone out of your way, always very happy to see me, always stopped and gave me a minute of your time to say hi. You were always exceptionally kind to my Michael, my son, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck in your retirement. I know you can't sit still, so whatever chapter you're opening next in retirement, I wish you good health and the best of luck. Cheers to you, Judge.
If this video goes before my mother's, it's a pleasant warm-up. If it goes after, I'm sorry I couldn't top it. Judge Curio, you have, as my mother will say or has said, always been so very kind to me, and I have nothing but fondest memories of you. I seriously enjoy the fact that you will finally have some you time and that you get to enjoy retirement, and I do so hope you do. I remember both times that stick out in my head were mock trial. Once for Bring Your Child to Work Day. My mother had brought me to the courthouse, and you were the presiding judge over the, I believe it was the Three Little Pigs case, if I'm not mistaken. The other was later when I was in high school, and you were giving a speech towards the end, and you should have seen the look on my teacher's face when I knew the assignment judge, and she personally stopped to say hello to me. You didn't have to, but it's always a pleasure to see you, and how it is a great pleasure to see you finally retire and enjoy your time afterwards.
Judge Curio, I'm here with my wife Jane to honor you on your retirement. It's a great thing. I think you're going to enjoy it. It was a wonderful experience starting off my judicial career with you in 1995. We were a team, you, Mike Fisher, and I, and others. I said at Baby Judges School and along the way, and then you became the queen. I said, and it was an honor to work with you, not only as my friend, but as the head of the judiciary, and you did a wonderful job and gained the respect of everyone, which is a hard thing to do. So I wish you well, enjoy yourself, and try not to work hard like I do and travel a lot. God bless you.
I want to say congratulations, Georgia. I remember the night that we were down at the Charlesworth in Fortescue, and you had just gotten a call from Governor's Council saying that yes, you were finally going to be appointed. And we talked about that many times. I hope you're not sorry. I am constantly reminded of what you said at my retirement dinner. If I were to speak tonight, I would tell the folks that what you said was, because at the time, a new pope had just been appointed, and the reference to the white smoke coming out of the Vatican, meaning that finally a decision had been made. And I was within 3 days of my retirement. You spoke on my behalf there in front of the Chief Justice and reminded the Chief Justice that it was easier to get a pope appointed than it was an assignment judge. And you brought down the house. And luckily, Chief Justice Ports made the right decision. She called you the next day. I never heard whether or not there was a reference to the Pope story. My advice, as I know you've heard before, when you retire, every night is going to feel like Friday night. Every day is going to feel like a Saturday. And most importantly, there are no Monday mornings. Congratulations, Georgia.
Judge Curio, I'm not as eloquent as Judge Stanger, who just spoke to you, but I wanted to wish you a very, very happy retirement. It's been a pleasure working with you, first in our law firm years ago, and then appearing before you on the bench, and then seeing you at all these dinners after all these years. Congratulations and good luck.
And I just wanted to wish the very best for you. Travel, do everything that you can. It's just wonderful being retired. Believe me, it is wonderful. Enjoy.
And, oh yes, enjoy Greece.
Oh, Greece! I love Greece. Make sure you see Santorini. It's wonderful.
Let us pray. Good and gracious God, we stand before you tonight with very grateful hearts. We give thanks for the 22 years of service. Georgia, your servant, our judge, has served as appointments judge for Vicinage 15. We give you thanks for her graciousness, for her kindness. Truly, in the fulfillment of this office, she has been both an administrator and a mentor. She has administered the affairs of justice for our community so that justice may be served, people's rights assured. But probably most importantly, she has been, to those who worked with her, mentor, friend, and one who not only led by her authority, but served by her example. We give you thanks tonight for Georgia and ask your rich and profound blessings on her. As she now embraces this next phase of her life, give her your rich and abundant blessing, the support of all those who love her. And as we gather tonight to break bread in friendship, we ask you now to bless us and bless our coming together. That what we taste now might only be the foretaste and the hope of the kingdom to come, where we break bread in friendship and joy that lasts forever. We give you thanks, Lord God, you who live and reign forever and ever. Amen.
I'm one of the joint MCs tonight for Judge Curio's retirement dinner. Frank Hurst is the other. Between the counties, he and I have been doing this for 4 years, and neither one of us want to remember. The last one I did was about 4 months ago, and it was Judge Feynman's retirement dinner. And as is normally the case when a judge retires in the vicinage, Judge Curio is always brought to the podium to say a few words. And that was the case in Judge Feynman's retirement as well. Except this time, she came to the podium after I introduced her, and she let out this heavy sigh. And she said, "Now I can breathe." And she said, "I never know what Vince is going to say." You got a problem tonight because this is all about you. And I suggest to you that the problem is not so much me, it's that guy over there. So I thought about what I should do. And I've come to the conclusion. And just bear with me. Thought about it, and I know that they have these portable things that folks who have difficulty breathing carry around, and they're for oxygen. So I called a medical supply place in Vineland, and I said, I'd like to rent a portable oxygen thing for one night. And they said, well, we don't rent them for one night. I said, okay, how much time do I have to rent it for? A week? No. The least we will rent them for is a month, but you need a prescription. I said, for air? And he said, yes. I said, well, okay, I know a couple of doctors who I have not sued, who will give me a prescription. I said, I can get a script. He said, how much is it going to be to rent one of these things for a month? $125. Now, I paid $110 to come here tonight. I like her, but I don't like her $125. So I called my doctor, and it's Dr. Shields in Bridgeton, and I talked to his nurse, and I said, this is what I need. This is what I'm thinking about. Do you have anything? And she said, no, but let me call around to other doctors and see if I can get you one. I said, that would be wonderful. So 10 minutes later, she called me. I don't know how many doctors she called, but she said, no, I can't find you one, but we found a canister and we put a hose on it and a mask, and you can come and get it. So they're closed on Wednesday. So this morning, they open at 9:30. I leave the office at 9 o'clock, go to Bridgeton, pick that up, and there it is. Just for that, so that you can breathe. There are 400 people here. It is 50 more than at Judge Stanger's. And I was wondering about that, because there were a whole bunch of his when we did his, and I didn't want to have to say to Judge Curio, you didn't have as many as Judge Stanger did. But Judge Stanger is here, and Judge, you fall 50 short. The only one that was bigger was a combination of Judge Testa and Judge Fisher. And I think that was at the Savoy or someplace, I forget where it was, but I think there were close to 500 people there. Judge Testa will tell you that at least 95% of the people who were there were because of him. And if you stop and think about it, and get the number there and multiply it by 95%, he had more than you. As I said, Frank Hurst is the co-MC. I went to Frank's office the other day, and what we did was we sat down with the program and we divided what we were going to do. So Frank is now going to get up and tell some things about Judge Curio. You might want to get that ready. And then what we're going to do, so that you know, Frank will introduce the Chief Justice. I will deal with Director Grant, and then we're going to break for dinner. Frank, please.
Vince is right. He came to the office. We wrote down a few things to say. Vince went to the bathroom, and I copied down all his material. So it's going to be a far cry before I relinquish the microphone again. But interesting that first thing Vince and I both said is we usually work alone. But it's a pleasure working with him. You may find that there are a few differences between Vince and I, not only height, weight, and follicle count, but Vince is a real stylish guy, and he goes to Boyd's Custom Suits. I go to Golden Harry's on 2nd Street for the big and tall. But together we hope to put together a nice little program for you. And when we were trying to figure out a few things on how we were going to set the tone of tonight, I said, Vince, how about, or what do you think the chances are that Judge Curio would let me tell the 10 best Chad dinner jokes? You'll get your chance. Chief, is she done? I gotta know, because tomorrow may be a long day if she's not. But regardless. So, right along the lines of your thinking, Vince says to me, Frank, slim and none. Now, normally I would be offended by that, but anybody who uses my name and the word slim in the same sentence, I will love you forever. Believe me. But this is terrific. Vince said it. 400 people. Is this not terrific? Let's hear it. I'm going to ask it one more time and take into consideration that we gave you 15 extra minutes at the open bar. Isn't this terrific? You know, guys, with all these people, there's half a chance that if they all had shown up when you were at the Our Lady of Mercy Academy, you'd have been the class president. But here they are today. But speaking of Our Lady of Mercy, thank goodness we have Oprah, because I was able to obtain the report card. Oh, yes. Here it is, folks. The report card of Our Lady of Mercy Academy of Georgia M. Curio. This is it. This is official. The way I can tell you, for those of you who do not have the benefit of a Catholic education, first of all, they all come in a folder that has a advertisement for a funeral director. And every time I looked up myself being a product of it, and the nun got a little bit upset with me, she turned around and looked at the crucifix. That's not a good result either. So we got a lot of problems. But here it is. This is the official certified version. Now, it starts out by just telling you how wonderful they are and how they're going to treat your child. But then it gets to the bottom and it talks about attendance. Oh boy. You got no skin calling anybody late or the hell is on here? Absence, tardiness, lateness. Where were you all the time? Atlantic City hadn't even opened up yet. And that's only the first page. Now we go to the back page. This is where every Catholic student's parents, their name is forged on this document.
If the Attorney General were to get all of this information, we'd all be indicted. Then we open up the report card. Not so bad. On the right side, reading, writing, English, all of it, hundreds and 90s and stars. But that's not why we're here tonight. Why we are here tonight is on the left side. At the top it says citizenship, character, and health. And they have categories, and they get A through B. But of course, we know her, we love her. The first one is courage, all A's. Who would doubt that she's not a courageous person? The next one is perseverance, all A's, with maybe a minus or two. But then we get to self-control. Off my desk. I thought the worst you could get would be a D. But under self-control, there was a lot of question marks and a lot of comments that I, especially with the table that's in front of me, and the last one that we get to, and this one you'll love, obedience. To whom? That would be my number one question. So, if you're all interested and would like a copy of this and have everything, I would be more than happy to make it available. But we welcome you here tonight, and it's great. I spent an hour welcoming people, and it's really, oh my. Every lawyer went for his card. The poor kid is down and everybody's looking for it. Okay? Is there a doctor in the house? Not one's going to show up. I think doctors would be more scarce today. The only people that would be more scarce would be Salem County freeholder directors. And so it begins. As Vince and I said, I'm judgment proof. But everybody you welcome tonight, hello Judge, and I can sit here and I say, Justice, Chief Justice, Justice, Judge, sweetheart. I'll let you figure that one out. But really, thank you so much for coming. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have some other speakers. We're going to hear from the Chief Justice himself. So please, sit back, enjoy. If there's something you'd like to pass up to me that you'd like me to bring up, and don't have the guts to say it yourself, send it over to my table. But the next part of the program, we're very lucky in the state of New Jersey. We live our lives working in this profession. But it's the fact that we have the best and most admired and imitated judicial system, not only in the United States, but worldwide. Even thanks to the kind of Big Sam DeSimone, who has been to Europe many times, that his exporting this judicial system, it was truly a pleasure. And it brought tears to my eyes this year at the annual New Jersey State Bar Association meeting on Friday morning when we had the State of the Judiciary, and our next speaker singled out Judge Curio. She had a tear in her eye. She sent me a text, which I had to have somebody read to me because I'm not very good. I had a tear in my eye. So, knowing that we are in the forefront, and so many judges are here that are really championing that cause, the things that our Chief Justice has done, such as the new Bail Reform Act, without any further ado, I would welcome Chief Justice Stuart Rabner of the New Jersey.
You that a large number of the judges here are going to be staying for at least a period of time because they understand that Vince is going to deal with Judge Grant. I want to see that. But I will tell you, having worked closely with Judge Grant for many years, my money's on him. It's actually no surprise to me that there are so many people here tonight, not only because of the kind of judge that Georgia Curio is, and we'll come back to that, but because of the kind of person that she is. You know, if you travel to events like this, up and down the state, all the way up in Hudson and Bergen and south to Gloucester and Salem and Cumberland and everywhere in between, there is one constant, and that is you can be pretty sure that you're going to see Georgia Curio at each and every one of these events. That's not an easy thing to do with the full list of things that she has to do on her plate and in her life. But Judge Curio is absolutely selfless when it comes to showing support and honoring worthy causes, friends who are being honored, friends who've lost a loved one, a judge who has passed or lost a loved one. I have no idea how many miles you've put on your car traveling up and down the state to all of these events, but please know one thing from us. Never underestimate how important it is when you show up and offer your words and sign of support for all of us. In the case of Judge Curio, though, showing up is only a tiny fraction of what it means, because anyone who has spent any time working with her knows that she exudes extraordinary competence on so many different levels. And she somehow manages to do this with the fewest words of anyone that I know, and I know that a number of you are familiar with her style in this way, but I want to give you just a couple of examples. This past week, I spent a good deal of time looking at cover letters, reviewing applications from law clerks. It's that time of year. And I always find that you can learn a great deal about someone by looking at their cover letter. The same is true for cover letters that come when people put their hat in the ring to be considered for assignment judge. So I went back and I wanted to read for you Judge Curio's letter to Chief Justice Porras from 2005. It reads as follows: Dear Chief Justice, I'm interested in being considered for the assignment judge position in Vicinage 15 upon Judge Stanger's retirement. Enclosed, please find my resume. Thank you. Respectfully. In case any of you lost track and lost count of the words, just the body of the letter is 25 words, including thank you. Now that is vintage Georgia Curio. Succinct, to the point, understated, and wise. And that's how she is in all of her endeavors at the state's judiciary, as a leader of the state's judiciary. That's how she's always been a judicial council where the assignment judges and the conference chairs gather and work on policy issues for the judiciary as a whole. She rarely speaks, and when she does, we all have a favorite commercial that she reminds us of. I'm reminded of that old coffee commercial where everybody, and this will date me, waits for El Exigente to offer words of approval, and that's how it goes. We wait for Georgia Curio to tell us what she thinks, up or down. And her comments always have just the right mix of wisdom, pragmatism, and common sense. And that's why we have called on her to help out on so many problems and assignments over the years. I actually felt bad when I looked at the program and I saw that long listing of tasks that people have importuned, have begged Georgia to take hold of. And they include some assignments that are rather expected, not out of the ordinary and important nonetheless, like chairing budget and planning. Some assignments that grew out of acute problems that we faced, dealing with sovereign citizens, who create far too many challenges for judges and staff alike throughout the year, and chairing up the advisory group on that. And other assignments on problems that are simply very, very hard to fix, like chairing the Domestic Violence Committee that was set up with all three branches of government seated around the table with Judge Curio at the head of it, trying to come up with recommendations to how to improve our system. And then there's just one more that I wanted to mention, because it goes to the core, it goes to the very values that Judge Curio stands for. She is the judiciary's representative on New Jersey's Commission on Professionalism in the Law. Georgia, we will miss your help in all of these and so many other areas where you have worked passionately to enhance the mission of our judiciary, and always did it with great sensitivity and support for the judges whom you champion every single day, for the staff that we are lucky to work with, and for the public we're privileged to serve. Our distinguished agent for Vicinage 15 has set an incredibly high standard for herself, and by doing so, a high standard for the rest of us here as well. And she leaves behind a legacy of exceptional work and extraordinary goodwill, as you can tell just by looking around this room here today. Because of that, I just have one last request, and that is that you not change your phone number. So that all of your friends and colleagues will still know how we can continue to reach out to you for guidance and help. We wish you all the best as you tackle the next chapter and new issues in whatever form they may be. Just make sure you bring vintage Georgia Curio, because whatever that venue is, she's going to knock it out of the park. Congratulations on an extraordinary career.
She worked with us in a way that we were able to accomplish everything we wanted to. And for every one of you, I have such high regard for the judiciary. We have the best system in the nation. As the chief reminded me, to Hawaii and Alaska, when they had a choice, they chose New Jersey model. And we will always fight to protect the independence of the courts. But I had the great pleasure, and I'm not holding anybody up here, because I just wanted to be here. It makes me feel so good that I made this, because I was sick being stuck in Trenton. Not just Trenton. But that I was able to be able to say congratulations and wish you a happy retirement. And I have a joint Senate and Assembly. We don't have many things that are joint with the Senate and Assembly right now. But I have one of these, probably the last one that's joint with the Assembly, that I'd like to present to you just for all the great work that you've done on behalf of the people this week. Thank you.
Big shoes to fill. Thank you. All right. I know. It was cheap. Thank you. You know, I went online to buy big shoes, and you think it would be easy to research big shoes and purchase a pair of big shoes. I came across clown shoes. I didn't think that would be appropriate. I came across big monster boots. I didn't think that would be appropriate. I eventually went to Walmart and I found a pair of these that seemed that didn't perfect. So, yes, I have big shoes to fill. It's apparent by everyone that's here tonight. We've been fortunate to have your expertise to rely on. You're going to be missed, but I know your retirement is the right thing at this time, and may the next phase of your life bring you all that you seek and more. Thank you very much, Judge.
Integrity, humble appreciation, enjoying the law, dedication, compassion, ethical, justice, there's a saying down south, may the works I've done speak for me. May the life that I've lived speak for me. Fellow clerks, face Judge Curio, the works that you have done is speaking for you. We appreciate you and we love you.
On behalf of the family, just wow, what a great turnout. I'm glad to see most of you are still here. Those that left, I'm going to miss it. But just a lovely and dignified evening. And sadly, I don't do dignified. And I clearly don't do lovely. So we're going to change the direction a little bit, which is to say completely. As Jason mentioned, Georgia, and yes, I do intend to call her Georgia. That is her name. That's what I call her most of the time. Does not like surprises, so of course we have some lined up for her. I'm her brother. It's my job. It's not a job I asked for. It's not a job I particularly love. That's not true. But it is one that both of my sisters tell me I'm very good at, which is finding the things they don't like and seeing to it that they show up from time to time. So, some of these surprises will really be more surprises to all of you than to her.
A little closer. That move, get out of the way.
That's further.
No, you get closer.
And the first surprise is that Georgia is a risk taker. You might think of her as close to the vest and state and kind of conservative in a lot of things, but that's not 100% accurate. For instance, did you know that she is a certified skydiving instructor? There's actually no way you could have known that because I just made it up. But she is a risk taker, and here is Exhibit A. And the fact that it's right in front of me, because she knows I'm liable to say any damn thing. And yet she has taken what, from all accounts, has been a pretty good career and put it on the line for the opportunity to possibly be remembered as, you know, that judge that had her idiot brother talk at her retirement dinner. What was her name? Second surprise, and I'm glad you're all sitting for this, is that I'm actually her older brother. I see the shock. I see the joke. I'll give you a minute. Which means, of course, that I've been alive for every minute of her life. And this isn't supposed to happen. And every breath she's had to take, so how lucky is she? I gave her the first year off, but for about the last 60 years, I've been bothered. Third surprise, and this will be a surprise for you, is that there were a number of people from out of the area who wanted to be here tonight, not badly enough to change their schedules, but still. They did want to be here. And some of them sent some greetings. This first one's from Anaheim, California. You think it? Me too. Mickey Mouse? Let's see what it says. Judge Curio. Not polite. A great big surgically repaired thumbs up. Mic trap. In the interest of full disclosure, and because I don't want any class action lawsuits coming, I made that up. Mike Trout did not send me. Back off. The next one is from the White House at its new address, 16 billion Pennsylvania Avenue. Surely don't trifle in mere hundreds anymore. And it simply says, "Do svidaniya." I think we've been hacked. Which I should have figured out when they spelled Pennsylvania, P-E-N-C-I-L. Next one is from Asbury Park, New Jersey. It says, "Greetings." How clever. And then it says, "Please sing this next part," so hang on. Don't know that I can do that. So glad you got out while you're young, 'cause Georgia tramps like us, baby, we were born to run. Whoa. Thank you. Thanks to, who sent that? Oh, Bruce in Asbury Park, you know him too. Surprise number 4 is that I, and I alone, have never lost an argument, debate, discussion, dispute, wrestling match, or fruit fight with Georgia. I understand Mr. Chief Justice had a good record going for a while, but we're here tonight, so he clearly lost the last one. Leaving me as the only undefeated. Of course, I had a tactic at my disposal that not all of them did. The headlock noogie literally applied. She eventually figured out that I was right. In a non-surprise, I had some suggestions from the judge on what I should and should not say, do and do not do up here tonight. She said, be short. I don't know what that was about, but it's her part. Be funny, as though I could help it. No lawyer jokes. Now that one hurt. Did you really think I would get up here and insult all of these good people to their faces? And what was the last one? Oh, don't make her cry. Here's how that one's going to go. I want to take a moment to thank Vince for using up all of my time, particularly with that riveting oxygen tanks story. I had a good one about almost getting to jury duty in what she calls her courtroom, as though it's got her name on it. But I guess I don't have time. So I guess I have to turn serious for a moment and address the elephant in the room, which is the Curio family proud of Georgia? What do you think we are? Of course we are. You know, when they say it goes without saying, that means they're about to say it. It goes without saying that we're proud of Georgia and have been for a long, long time. Not just in what she has achieved, but in the way she has achieved it. As you heard from others who know her career-wise a whole lot more than I do. Because that really good jury duty story was the only time I was in her courtroom. Shame you're not going to hear it. But as you heard, the way that she has achieved it with class and dignity and, I'm sure, a sense of humor. I didn't get a monopoly on that. And I think she has because she gets it. She gets the things in life that require a balance. Whether she gets it instinctively or through some more of her patented hard work, I'm not sure, but she gets it. She takes herself seriously enough to do things 100% correctly to the best of her ability, but not so seriously that she thinks the sun comes up each morning specifically to see her. And I think we've all known people that didn't quite get that balance. She knows that where she has gotten is from her own skills and hard work, but she also knows that she's been blessed with support and good health, and that the world's cemeteries and soup kitchens and institutions are full of people who have brains and would have worked hard but didn't have good health or didn't have a circumstance that was beneficial. And so she's proud and yet grateful at the same time. And that's the kind of balance that I know I certainly would love to achieve. To conclude, there were two words when George and I were growing up in the 60s. There were two words that us kids used to show appreciation for something or that we liked it. The first was cool. If something was interesting or fun or somehow had a positive value to it, it was cool. For instance, so that guy on TV is walking on the moon, that's cool. And if something was really cool, it was elevated to neat. The Beatles have a new album, that's neat. We were working on our priorities back then, but you get the idea. And to me, this is simply my opinion, but at a time when self-serving bombast is being packaged and sold as leadership, it's cool, it's really cool to me that all of you good folks took time out of your schedule to say to a public servant, job well done, and that public servant gets that because she got it. that public service is about serving the public. So that's definitely cool that you all came out and took time to do that. And the fact that it's my sister, well, that's just plain neat.
I was the MC when Judge Curio took the oath of office as a judge. I am particularly happy to be here tonight when she's retired. I don't see myself doing this again. All of the judges are young. I'm old, and chances are I won't be here. So it's even more important to me, and it's more of a pleasure for me tonight. I tried cases before Judge Curio when she was in the civil division, and she does not suffer fools well. When you're trying a case in front of her and she's up on the bench and she goes, "You are in a world of trouble." She reminds me of my dad when I was a kid. Although I got hit, many times he didn't have to because it was just a matter of looking at you, and that stopped it. Judge Curio has that ability when she has to suffer fools. Judge Curio is probably the most family-oriented person that I have met. The family itself has gone through some hard times with her dad passing away and lately her mom passing away. Classy people. Maria, her sister, has 3 children, Sammy and Jake and Luke. Well, when Sammy was born, those who knew her heard nothing other than about Sammy. It was Sammy in the morning, Sammy in the afternoon, Sammy at night. I went here with Sammy, I did that with Sammy. After a while, we got tired of Sammy. And then the twins came. So in the morning, it was Jake and Luke. In the afternoon, it was Jake and Luke. And at night, it was Jake and Luke. But what it shows is the family unit that the Curios have. And it is something to behold, and it's something to be particularly proud of. Going back for a minute to the time that I was the MC of her swearing in, I got a copy of her CD, and it said prior legal experience, and it goes, and she was with Tavish and Basil from 1980 to 1984. She was with Gruccio Pepper from 1984 to 1991, and then she went out on her own. The reason I bring this up is because the greatest line I ever heard in my life was at her swearing in. And it was, "I want to thank Jimmy Gruccio for not making me a partner." Because she then left Jimmy Gruccio's office, opened her law office, became a trial judge. She's a certified civil trial attorney, and from that point on, it was history. Welcoming and wishing Judge Curio nothing but happiness in her retirement, and hopefully she will continue to contact those of us that she continues to do now after she becomes retired. Judge Curio, come on.
Well, now you've gone and done it. You've exceeded the time allotted for clapping. Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for being here. This, frankly, is all really a bit overwhelming. To this evening's wonderful speakers who have been to this podium before me, all I can say is, have we met? I mean, we know each other because I don't recognize the person that you've been talking about. I wish I were half what you've made me out to be. Thank you all so much. Chief Justice Radner, thank you not only for being here with us, for taking the time and trouble to come here, and for your very kind and generous remarks, but for the many kindnesses that you've shown me over the years, personally and professionally, and the opportunities you've made available to me. I also thank you for what you do every day. Often yours is a thankless job, but your calm, steady, reasoned leadership and your insistence on doing the right thing for the right reasons is what continues the stature of the New Jersey judiciary as among the finest in the country. It has been a joy and education and a privilege to serve under your leadership. Thank you. Administrative Director Brandt, thank you also for being here. Most importantly, thank you for your unfailing support. As Administrative Director, your task has been nothing less than monumental, and you've carried it out with grace, and may I say, great style. Your accomplishments are a testament to your vision, drive, and skill. Monsignor Burton, thank you so much for being here, for leading us in prayer this evening, and for participating in yet another event of importance for the Curio family. Thank you, Monsignor. I'd like to thank Vince and Frank, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Actually, it does appear that no one's been irrevocably offended, so well done. I'd like to offer special thanks to the Retirement Dinner Committee, and I've asked that their names be printed on the program so that you can know who they are and acknowledge their hard work. I particularly would like to make special mention of my niece, Nicole Curio, a member of the committee, because she's my niece. And because I want to. And because she has done me the incredible honor of following in my footsteps and now practices law in Vineland at Gruccio Pepper, my alma mater, with whom I still enjoy a very fine relationship. And I still thank God that Jimmy Gruccio has a sense of humor. I'd like to also, Charlotte, what's the matter, honey? I also want to mention in particular the executive directors of the Gloucester County Bar Association and the Cumberland County Bar Association. Lynn Silverstein, coming back from the bar, it would appear. Gloucester, and Carol Walker from the, where's Carol? I know she was here, from the Cumberland County Bar Association, and I have to tell you that she's been on the job for about a month and a half, and she walked right smack dab into the middle of preparing for this dinner, and what a maiden voyage that has been. Once again, Aletto's, our friends here at Aletto's have done an outstanding job. Please help me thank Jim Aletto and his terrific staff. You've often heard me say that assignment judge is the best job in the system, but it takes many dedicated and talented people to run a vicinage. First and foremost, the unsung heroes in the trenches every day, making sure that what needs to be done gets done. Our incredible staff. They are the heart and soul of the judiciary. I've been privileged to work with 3 fine trial court administrators, Jimmy Castagnoli followed by Mark Sprock, both of whom are like brothers to me. And as you see, I have my hands full in the brother department. Our trial court administrator, Jason Porter, who with a year under his belt is on track to join Jimmy and Mark in continuing the tradition of excellence and already occupies a special place as a member of the fraternity. Good job, Jason. Under Jason's supervision, we have a first-rate management team. I would put them up against anyone, anywhere, anytime. Although I'm looking forward to retirement and seeing what the next chapter holds, I will confess to you tonight that there is one thing about retirement that terrifies me. For the first time in nearly 40 years, I will be without a secretary. Now that's scary. My secretary, Deanna Geisens, and before her, my secretary, Debbie Hamady, have been the glue that held it all together, making sure I was where I needed to be, when I needed to be there, and making sure nothing fell through the cracks. Both Debbie and Deanna have been vital, and I do mean absolutely vital, to the vicinage, both of them doing a phenomenal job, always with a sense of humor, unwavering fidelity, and unsurpassed integrity. I couldn't have done any of it without them. I'd also like to mention my late secretary, Louise Scarpa, and for those of you who remember Louise, she was one of a kind, a true original. I'm pretty sure right now she's telling our Heavenly Father what to do and how to do it. I'd like to acknowledge our previous assignment judges, my immediate predecessor, the Honorable George Skip Stanger. Judge Stanger, are you still here? And before him, the founding father of Vicinage 15, our first assignment judge, the Honorable Samuel G. DeSimone, who was here earlier, but had to leave. The strong foundation laid by them made my job so much easier. And that's why for the last 12 years I've been able to sit with my feet on the desk reading the newspaper. I thank both of them for their support, their guidance, and friendship. And Skip and Judy, thank you for being here tonight. Assignment judge responsibilities intersect with so many others. I want to acknowledge and thank our partners in county government and elsewhere, from the prosecutors to the surrogates and their deputies, the county administrators and their deputies, county sheriffs and their fine officers, from the freeholders to buildings and grounds, the county clerks, public defenders, and of course, the private bar. When we've made progress, we did it together. All the while, I'm proud to say, enjoying wonderful working relationships. Many of you have become and will remain valued friends. A special word of thanks to my colleagues, the judges of Vicinage 15, and I include the defector, Assignment Judge Juan Mendez, now of the Atlantic Cape May Vicinage, and our retired judges, when I commend your unparalleled work ethic and your dedication. Thank you for making it look like I was doing a good job, when in reality I was simply standing back and letting you do yours. I especially extend best wishes to my successor, Judge Ben Telsey, as he takes over as assignment judge and brings Vicinage 15 a new and dynamic perspective, and continues the tradition of bench and bar striving for excellence and working together. And now, a special word to my fellow assignment judges, past and present, and other members of Judicial Council with whom I've worked over the years. These are people who are very special to me. It would be impossible for me to overstate my fondness and esteem for each and every one of you. God bless you always as you continue to carry out your enormous responsibilities. Thank you for being here tonight, but then again, you've always been there for me. All of whom worked hard and greatly enriched my experience and my life in many ways. I want to thank my wonderful family for their support, understanding, and encouragement. I won't introduce all of them, but I do hope that many of you had an opportunity to meet them and speak with them throughout the evening. They are my pride and joy. I want to thank my brother Alex for staring down a room full of lawyers and judges to deliver moving and memorable remarks because I asked him to. I do want to acknowledge my dad's sister, our matriarch, Aunt Jerry, 92 years young. Who I'm sure is sitting there wondering what the heck kind of party is this? There's no dancing. And although I'm not usually much for sports metaphors, I have gained a new appreciation for the one about leaving it all on the field. But apt as those cliches may be, they don't quite cover it, not even close. What I can say is that the experiences and opportunities I've had have been far greater than I ever would have dared to imagine or hope or dream. And so while it's true I'm feeling a full array of emotions all at one time, chief among them is gratitude. That life's path led me to the practice of law, which I found so gratifying, and then wondrously to the bench, which I have loved from the very beginning, beyond my ability to express, and then most implausibly to assignment judge and the sense of reward and satisfaction, accomplishment, and pride that go with it. To borrow one of those tired old cliches, it has been an incredible journey, and I thank all of you for being part of it and for sharing a special evening that I will never forget. And a final observation, if I may. Here tonight, on the threshold of our nation's celebration of the 4th of July, and all that conjures in our minds and in our hearts, it takes my breath away to acknowledge, as I have so often told our new probation officers as I swore them in to commence their duties, we in the judiciary are privileged because we get to do justice for a living. How privileged I have been. Thank you all very much.